middle of the drought, this is a bit hard to see. Water flowing out of the Nimbus Dam, all part of the Folsom Reservoir system attached to the American River, which flows down towards Sacramento. You can see it flowing pretty good right now. But again, that water streaming out of at least two sections of the Nimbus Dam. It's pretty to see, a little bit concerning. Here's the catch. This is normal. The only reason why we normally don't see this out of Nimbus Dam or even Folsom Auxiliary Spillways, it usually goes through the power plant, but the Bureau of Reclamation letting us know that there's some work being done there. So we are going to see a bit of that water coming out of Nimbus and the Folsom Dam Auxiliary Spillway for the next couple of weeks. Once they get that power plant back online, things will be moving regularly through there. Now it's all part of the big network, which has to feed the ecosystem, keeping things moving smoothly here. This is what it looks like high above the sky above Folsom there. So a lot going on right now. How have our reservoirs been shaping up with this dry stretch now coming in at almost 50 days for many places? Well, we sit at about 35 to 55% full. Shasta's being our biggest reservoir. It's only about 52% of average. We're at 110% of average for Folsom. So there is a little bit of capacity to release some water from there. All that snowpack that melts down the hill is what fills our reservoir. So let me just go ahead and take you through the path of what's going to be coming up here in the next couple of months. Snowpack melts and then it moves down through the American River for Folsom, and the Feather River moves into Lake Oroville. Once it's released from there, it heads farther downstream through the American River and the Sacramento River, meeting at Discovery Park, finally making its way out towards the Delta. Now, this is a critical point in the whole water channel here, because what happens is the Bay Area tries to push some of that salt water inland, whereas this fresh water tries to keep that salinity at a very low level in the Delta. A really vital and vibrant ecosystem that goes on there. What is our snowpack looking like right now for that snow melt? Not too promising here, about 60 to 70% of average, and that even after we got about 2 feet of snow the other day. Now, precipitation levels also starting to drop off. Where we saw the first hit was right along the northwest coast. Eureka now 10 inches below normal. Ukiah closing in on about 9 inches below normal. Redding almost 8 inches below normal. But San Francisco and Sacramento still above average because of huge gains in October and December. After that, everything pretty much shut down. So we've been sitting pretty steady here for our drought monitor. The new one released today, though, is starting to see some changes. That after weeks of staying steady for the drought monitor. The biggest changes right along the northwest coast, where extreme drought now covers 6.7% of the state. Okay, so February rankings of dry conditions. We have not seen any rain for downtown Sacramento. Last time we had that, 2020, the driest on record. So unfortunately, we continue to rack up these records of low precipitation. This is going to be following a very dry January, where this year, 2022, for downtown Sacramento, ranking as the second driest on record with only 5/100ths of an inch of precipitation. You can see these big gains in October and December, but after that, pipeline just absolutely shut down. So what are the chances that we will actually even hit normal precipitation for the state? Well, 75%. Looks like we'll actually have a decent chance of hitting that. But once we get into that 100% of normal category, it's only about from San Francisco through Sacramento, parts of the Sierra Spine, that we will have that chance of 100%. 150%, which would get us out of the drought pretty much. It's very slim chance we'll even actually get out of that category. Our stretch right now of dry conditions, 47 days without measurable rain. Now, this is going to start to rival that 2013-2014 record of 52 days. Keep in mind, that was in the middle of one of our most severe droughts in modern record keeping between 2012 and 2016. Also looking at that Sierra snowpack. This is where we stand right now. Here's our current level. And unfortunately, we're running very close in line with the 2013 water year, which ended well below average. Not necessarily the driest, though. That was back in 1923 through 1924, where we only had 17 inches. of precipitation and a drier than average outlook headed our way. Here's a look at least the next 10 days. Have nice atmospheric rivers coming through the Pacific, but they're all heading north of us. Some of that affecting the northwest corner of the state, which again took the biggest hit in the latest drought monitor. So at least if we could get in some precipitation in that part of the state, it helps us at least in some capacity, given that Shasta is in fact in the northern part of California, right through Shasta County and Redding. It'd be nice to get some of that rainfall coming in.